Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my stream. Got my pop-out chat. Got my Manicam. Oh, have to do a though. I need to send a tweet. Okay. All right. Oh, I'm 5 minutes late. Oh, well, that's nothing unusual. All right. I don't see anyone in my chat yet. So I'll get my feet all up on my stool. Get my stool pulled into the right position. Oh, there's Holly. Hello, Holly. Welcome, welcome. Let me spray my watercolors here. Actually, I think I'm going to use my all right. Oh, ouch. Hi, Dar. Hey, Kathy. No worries, Dar. I'm watercoloring, so it's always hard for me. I hope this masking fluid hasn't been on here too long. I'm just going to keep going. I've 4 marbles that I have to do my first layer on before I can even think about any more layers. Oh, that's still too much color. All right, let's clean my brush, and I'm really going to spread that because it needs to be almost white. Oh, no way, it went way out over the edge of that. I'm just trying to tint it a little wee bit so it's not pure white. Hello, Dee Dee. Hello, Janet. Hello, Lena. So I started this 2 weeks ago. Hey, Sharon. If I missed anybody else, Jillian. So I'm just doing my very first layer. Oh, I should have dried that. Darn it, darn it, darn it, Jean. So this is cerulean blue. The last one was a little bit of phthalo green red shade mixed with a little bit of marine blue for this almost white wash. Hey, Debbie. Debbie, are you going to stream after me, Debbie? I'll see how long my knees... Oh, speaking of knees, I need to take another Advil because it's starting to wear off, my last one. One moment, please. Oh, okay. I'll be done before that 6 or 7 Eastern, depends on how my knees hold out. Trying to get myself back into the correct mood cycle and time cycle. Now I'm going to go back over this again because I want a sharper edge there. Because I forgot to... Now, before that dries, I am going to go over this with some... Uh-oh. Where's my color map? There it is, I think. Yeah, that's what I thought. Ultramarine. And then also anthraquinone. No, that's wrong. Which one? Phthalo blue. Need my map here again. It's been so long since I've painted. Oh yeah, okay. Right off to cobalt. That's why it always seems like it's in such a weird spot. It's almost like I always think it should be the last blue, but anyway. I have them in my palette in the order that M. Graham has them. Hey, Dee Dee. Oh, no growling or howling. Oh, yay, Jillian, that's great. Oh, no, I need to sneeze. Oh, I can't remember if I texted my good news or not, but my BFF got her scan results back. And whatever the shadow in her lung was, it is not cancer. They think likely scar tissue from the chemo or radiation. So, yay! It was a very tense, almost 3 weeks for her to wait for those results, though. It was a PET scan, not a CAT scan. So, and biopsy, I mean. So it took a while for it to come back. I had to make sure the... Oh, for sure, Debbie. Hey, Joycey. Excuse me. Going to blow my nose. I'm going to mute you guys just here for a second. Uh-oh, hold on, my poor... Just a minute. I'm going to move something because... I don't know if that sounds any better. I had a couple of things sitting in front of my microphone. Sorry about that, guys. One moment. I don't want to blow my nose with a Kleenex that has blue paint on it because it'll end up on my nose. One moment, please. Oh, it's so nice having a little mute button right in front of your microphone. I don't have to get my mouse and go into my software and mute my. It's so nice to just have a little button that I can press to mute myself. Yeah, it would look like a blue Smurf, Joyce. Oh, excuse me. All right. You can see that dark anthraquinone blue. Let me zoom in a little bit more here on the one I'm working on. Oh, actually, hold on. One moment, please. For those of you who may not have been here 2 weeks ago, this is the picture by Soon Warren that I'm using as my reference. So I'm going to go to this view, zoom in over here. Let's make sure I am as focused as I can get. Yep, it's good. Color's not too bad right at the moment. Oh, although now I know why it's not as light as it should be. My ring light wasn't turned on. As you can see, I have done nothing in 2 weeks. Oh, that's fine. There we go. I don't know if that's any different for you guys, but it's better for me. So you're welcome, Sharon. What am I using? This is 300 pound. 300 pound. What do they call it? It's the Fabriano Artistico. 100% cotton paper. So it's like, I mean, this is like painting on like chipboard. It's so lovely. And then I'm using my M gram watercolors. Oh, sorry, you were talking to Kathy asking what she was using. Never mind, Dee Dee, but anyway, now you know what I'm using too. All right, so now I need my light green. I don't have a light green here yet. All right. So I'm starting with this permanent green pale as the undercoat. It's nice vibrancy. Vibrancy is important when you are working on, I think that blue should be dry enough because I was messing about there for a little while. Oh, as I was saying, these bright colors that you may not necessarily see in the end painting are very important for vibrant discovered. Although this is inspired by an Artist Network TV video, Soon Warren has several videos on Artist Network TV. So if you belong to her, and even just to watch them if you don't watercolor, She's absolutely amazing. But I am putting a little of my own things that I like to do into it. Although seeing this was the one that was the video that inspired me a year and a half ago to really want to learn how to paint glass. It was this video. Oh, I know it was a different painter. I can't remember who it was, but there was 4 or 5 glass vases. And one of them, there's candy me for glass. But I've kind of, through painting glass, I've discovered some things that I like to do that may be different from other people's. And I like to use these bright, like lemon yellows in my base layer for yellows, reds, and greens. And in this green, for my vibrancy, I'm using this. And over here, I did as well. Over here, I use this permanent green pale just because they're vibrant. So then when you go over them with the other green colors, it really leads to that glass vibrancy look. Oh, by the way, that art competition that was in finally announced the 8 paintings that are being put on the architectural panels, and I was not one of the 8, so my sister will go pick up mine for me because it's just in the next town, 4 miles away from her. Oh, slide the paper over 2 inches. Like that. Or the other way. Hi, Helen. That way or the other? Oh, to the right. Okay. There. Is that better? I had it over to the left so that all 4 of them would be in the camera, but oh, my pretty hair's in the way? Yeah, well. That's because, let me see. Oh, no, okay, hold on. This will help me. There we go. All right. All right, down here. All right, next I need to do, okay, that's dry. So next I need to do the reddish orange here that goes beside the green. So there's some right up here. I apologize if my head is in the way. Oh, so got my sorry, I've got to zoom in on my picture so I can see what I've got going on here. I've got to put a little bit of orange over that so it's not quite orangey enough. So while it's wet, I'm going to take some permanent orange and mix it in with that red. That's a little better. And I'm going to go right over it while it's still wet. Okay. There's also a little bit of, it's very dark, but for now it doesn't have to be very dark. There's a little wee bit of red. Sorry, guys. Maybe I should zoom out. Maybe if I zoom out, my hair won't be in the way as much. Hey, Dr. Dot. Hey, Lena. If I zoom out, does my head get in the way a little less? That's still too red, but okay. Let's see, that works any better for my hair situation. Okay, so, and believe it or not, there is a little bit of red. It's dark, so it'll be fine to go over the green and the blue there because it's kind of a shadow. So it's all right if it neutrals out with that green. It won't neutral too much because that green is a very yellow green. So it's not exactly across each other on the color wheel. So it's not too bad. Yeah, well, you know me, my growls. It's not a gene stream if I don't growl at least once. Sorry, I didn't get to the right spot here with my green. So I'm going to go in here and fix my green. Okay. And here, some green here as well. Oops. Now, this other green that's down below is a shadow, cast shadow. So it's more of the sap green. So, but a very watered down sap green. So what I want to do is going to go in. I'm going to wet my area. And it goes kind of to here and around. So we'll draw that shape with water. And then I'm still going to go in with a quite watered down. So I've just put a little sap green here and put quite a bit of water on because I don't want much color here. Not yet, anyway. Parts of it are dark, but a lot of it is just glow. So for now, I want very pale color in there. And I'm going to go in with a clean, just damp brush. Pick up that extra because I don't want it pooling at the bottom because at the bottom is where it's lightest. So I certainly don't want it pooling there. So for now, you can barely see any green there, but that is fine. And I'm going to dry that. And over here on this side of that green, right in here, I need a little bit of very light gray. So I have some gray already mixed here. I just need to add a little water to wet it, re-wet it, constitute it. And once again, I'm going to go in and color with water the area, because this is technically white, but it's got, I mean, it's not pure white, right? It's got shadows and whatever on it. So it's a little bit of gray in this area. This side had a little bit of blue. This side has a little bit of gray. It's really hard to paint without getting my head in the way, because I have to have everything so close. So for now, layer 1, a very desaturated color. There we go. So you can barely see it, but I can see it. Layer 1, remember. Hey, Jilly. That's why I have clay shapers for my masking fluid. Perfect. They have silicone brush tips on them. Well, silicone tips. And you can get round and flat. Perfect for masking fluid. That's what I use. I'm getting very close on this masking fluid. If I don't finish this today, I may have to take the masking fluid off and reapply, because it's been 2 weeks and you're not supposed to leave it for more than 2 weeks. Oh, sorry, guys. All right. Next marble. So this one has some golden yellow in it, some reddish gold, and some cerulean blue. Very cool. All right. So I'm going to start with the area that's kind of grayish white here. And I'm going to paint it in with water first. And add that desaturated. Now this is a gray mix I made with my ultramarine. I mixed it from the tube. So I put about half and half ultramarine and burnt. I think I'm using the burnt umber one. Oh, sorry, trying to save my iPad from ending up on the floor. Okay. Okay. I have to dry each one because these have kind of nice solid lines between these. Okay. All right, so this other side. Uh-oh, I got some red in my mixture there that I need. Darn it. So for this other greenish glass, I'm taking a little bit of phthalo blue. No, excuse me. Phthalo green and a little bit of phthalo blue red shade. Ooh. Oh, now before I do that, I need a little more green in it. It's a little too blue. And a little spot here where there is green reflection, like that bright green reflection. Okay, now I need to get some water on my brush to desaturate that color, spread it around. It's too bright. Okay. It's good for now. A bit of this sorry, need to get a little bit more yellow in with that. Good, that works. I think in with that red, because there's a little bit of that reflecting here as well, right here. A little bit too much yellow, but that's okay. I'll get more red the next time. I forgot a couple of glow points, but that's okay. I'll use gouache for those. All right, so next, make sure that's dry. Do my cerulean blue area here. Bye, Dee Dee. No worries. Okay. Make sure after you clean your brush that there's no droplets left on your barrel there, on the handle of your brush, because you can really ruin what you're working on. All right, so first of all, I'm going to start with this all a cerulean blue. First layer. Second layer, I'll add the texture. But I need to add need to go in and grab a little bit of my white. And I want my white watercolor, not my gouache. So I need to make sure. Yeah. And mix a little wee bit of cerulean with the watercolor titanium. Okay. I'm going to dry that. Oh, I've got to, hold on. I've got to work on this white part that comes, in between. This white part that comes in between my orange and yellow, because this goes down here. I messed up my circle, so it's going to be a little bit wonky on the outside, but that's okay. And then over here, where's the bear? I put a little too much color on that, but it's okay. That will probably, I can fix that. And then in here is the, didn't go all the way down here with this gray. So I'm going to paint it in with water. And go in with that gray. Oops, took a little too much off. Let's kind of try and get that happy medium. And then under there is some cerulean. Now, all right, so now I need to add the orange stripe here. But it's really golden orange, so I think I'm going to go in first. I'm going to add a little yellow ochre to my warm yellow, to my gamboge here. Hey, Marianne. Anyone else I missed? I apologize. Not intentional. So this orange part I'm going to do with my yellow blend first. My brush was still a little dirty with the yellow, but that's, I mean, it doesn't matter because that's the color I'm going to be painting with anyway. So like a little drop there. Got it just before it fell off my brush. Watch out for that. Now, while that's still wet, I'm going to go in with my yellowy orange. I will tighten up the shape on the next color. This way will help it blend nicely in this area because it is a little bit more blended than the other areas. So over in this section, I need to draw this. Hi, Vicky. Oh, yay, Janet. Did you get a new camera too, or just a new computer? Did you get the new camera as well? I hope it fixes up your buffering and your clarity issues. And oh, Janet, just sorry, I've got it. Just a second, I've got to switch out my feet. My knees are at the point now where they lock. Oh. Hey, Beth. Okay. So on this section over here, there is this is kind of, I think, the most complicated one. It's got some very interesting reflections. It has, I have to put these blue reflections in before I go in with the green. Yay, Janet! Woo! It should really. I think you needed an updated Ethernet, or Wi-Fi card. I mean, to get the advantage of your higher speed internet that you have now. Because the Wi-Fi card makes a huge difference in the speed that it downloads and uploads. I really think that it's more that than your camera that's the issue. Yeah, that too. That's right. The more stuff you have on your computer, the less memory it has to work your camera. Yeah. All right, so now the rest of this is, oh, no, I almost missed a little bit of a, quite a big red reflection, actually, right up and around this whole section. Sorry, I have to keep using the heat gun, but it's either that or jump back and forth, and it's harder for me to focus and remember what I've done if I jump back and forth from one marble to another. So I prefer to just work, and the rest is going to be green reflection. So I'm using my permanent green pail for my first layer, my greens here. And underneath at the bottom is that green, phthalo green color of the actual glass. So that goes under here. Okay. All right. All right. Another tissue ready. So I'm going to do this last one here next. Hi, Sophia. Hello, hello, hello. Yes, I'm glad you made it. Our time change early makes it a little bit easier for the European friends for a couple of weeks anyway, until your time changes as well. Do an extra hour to perhaps jump in. Oh, already, Sophia? Oh, great. So she got through the... I know, I've been MIA. It's my own fault. I haven't been able to keep up with the news. But I don't know, my brain was just not in a very happy place for the last 2 weeks. So all right, so I've got a couple of different things going on in this one little area that I just painted with water. Part of it is green reflection from this bottom part, and part of it is just the like clear glass. There's also some gold reflection coming from this marble and over. This part up here is I need to get a little more water in that mixture there. Okay, forget where I am. All right, so going straight on this side, rounded on this side. just down to about there. Sorry if my head's in the way. I'm trying the best I can. Now I'm going to go to my permanent green light and fade those into each other. Just adding a touch of gray to that blue to tone it down just a bit there. All right. Now there's also some gray. Need water. Hold on. I'm not getting enough water, so I'm going to move up one brush size here. See if I can get this gray to... I don't want that much of a line. Well, there is, though. But it has to be more rounded, so let's go in here. That's why it looked funny. It wasn't rounded enough. There we go. And then I need almost out of gray here. And try to make sure I'm still on the screen here. This needs to be feathered down here to white. So I'm just going in with clean water and wetting the paper underneath that to try and feather that a little bit. Hey, Debbie. Yeah, but I'm still going to be... That's not going to solve the problem that enable you to see what I'm painting. You may not see my balding head, but you're going to see my... you're still not going to see my painting. It's still going to make a better door than window. Let me zoom out a little. if I'm still getting in your way. Hey, WR. Okay. So now I need to go in. There's a little bit of cerulean blue, but most of it is hold on. This one is mostly, oh, sorry, ultramarine. There is a little bit of cerulean. So I'm going to do this stripe all in cerulean first. Oh, then while it's wet, I'm going to go over it with the ultramarine. Kind of down the middle. And I have a little bit too much water on my brush. And this lower blue area, I'm going to do just ultramarine. They're still desaturated colors. First layer, folks, if you're just coming in, these are the first layers of color on each of the marbles. Uh-oh. One moment. I need to get this up before it stains the paper because I went over there too far. Okay. And then I need to dry that. Under that's going to be all green. Hey, Eileen. Oh, no, you fell asleep. At least I didn't fall asleep before my stream. I was trying. I get up and did stuff in between Janet and my stream so that I wouldn't fall asleep waiting for my own stream. This one is really a lot more of a sap green, but because I still want some of that glow, I'm going to mix for this first layer. There's a little bit of olivey in that too. What's my olive green look like? Or my azo green. No, it's not quite that. It is. Yeah, I'm going to mix some sap green permanent with my pale green, permanent green pale. Oh, hold on. Yeah, sap green. For my first coat on this, so it still has a little bit of luminescence from the permanent green pale, but just dull it down a smidge with the sap green. So that's a good color for my lightest green areas there in that section. But right here, I need my where'd it go? Need my little flat brush here. This one. So I'm going to take just my little 1/8" flat brush here. Still need a little bit of green, but and then there's an area right up here as well. I'm going to take a little of the green out. I'm going to wait. Hold on. I'm going to dry it. Sorry, I had a paintbrush in my hand. I'm going to dry it because I want to get it out square. Hey, Wendy. Wow, Sophia, that's amazing. Haha. Uh-oh. One moment, please. I might have just had another. Uh-oh. My heat gun might have just died. Well, that's no good. I'm going to have to buy a new heat gun. This is the second heat gun I've gone through. It's made by the Marva Uchida like Dee Dee's is, but it's the new version. And just a moment. I'm going to check something. I want to make sure that this thing didn't just blow a fuse. So I'm just going to try. I plug in my iPad and it doesn't start charging. Then I'll know there's an issue with the whole. No, that's charging. So it's not the whole thing. It's my heat gun. So I will unplug my heat gun. Oh, hold on. One moment. My heat gun was partially unplugged. No. So that is not the issue. I'll be ordering a new heat gun. You guys may have to listen to hairdryer instead. Yeah. But what I'll do is I will try and remember to mute myself when I have to use the hairdryer. Yeah, well, I don't need a blowtorch, Janet. I'm pretty good at. Lucky I haven't burned anything up yet with my heat gun, so. Sophia, you know, when my mom had her part of her right leg removed below the knee, and once the swelling went down in her stump, about, day and a half after her surgery, they fitted her for her prosthesis, for the little silicone cup that goes into the prosthesis. And we were even thinking, oh my gosh, isn't that early for measuring for that? Anyway, they had her up on her leg within, I'm going to say 2 days, 3 days after her amputation. And they told her, this is my mom, she was determined, and it was 1985 or 86. I can't remember. I was still in university. So she would have been 55, 50, 54, 55. I can't remember. Stubborn as a mule, let me tell you. They told her within 2 weeks she would be able to go up a few stairs. 4 days. Within 4 days of her surgery, she did a whole set of stairs up and down. Yeah. Because she wasn't going to let anyone tell her she couldn't do it. Woo! Right. Sorry. I got distracted talking about my mom. That always happens. Oh yeah, I also lost my, okay. Just a moment here. I lost my, okay, I gotta see if I got everything on this so far. I think so. So I just have a little bit to do on this one that's in behind. Has a little bit of this orange. All right, this part is orangey red. More orange than red. It's like a burnt orange. Excuse my head if it's in the way. I'm going to stick the end of my brush in my tissue so I can lift that highlight a little more accurately there. I didn't mask it off because it has to be, it's not white, it's going to be like yellowy orange, so. And then this is fading down here. So I need my larger brush to get a little more water into it. All right, and then there's a little bit that color down under here. But then that goes into and it kind of fades into a yellowy green. That's pretty good, I think. Then under here, there's some shading in there. And then a very light reflection of the orange. A little reflection of the orange there. And then this green reflecting. And there's even a little bit of blue right here. All right. Oh, well, that's better than trying to figure out how I'm in a car, Sophia. Nice. Oh, did I miss Shara coming in? Okay. All right. I did not get this, enough of this all green part here. I did not go down far enough. So that's okay. I'll get it fixed up next time. Okay, now I think I'm ready to go back and start doing some more details in the next layer. This is going to take a long time, guys, because I still haven't done all the reflections down below here. There's a cast shadow and there's marble reflections. So, whoo. Okay. All right, now I'm going for my details. Oops. All right. So this one has more of a real red. So I'm using my Pyrrole Red. It already has the orange undertone, so the Pyrrole Red will so now we'll be using a little more saturated colors. Adding these shapes in. Uh-oh. Moment, please. I didn't quite get that round like I wanted. So I'm going to try and bring that red back up out of there. All right. I'm going to mute because I'm going to dry with the hairdryer. As long as I remember to unmute in between. Now, I need this to be quite a bit darker red. So in order to get that darker red, I'm going to add a little wee bit of neutral tint. Oh, I can't remember which one's neutral tint, which one is Payne's Gray. Yeah, that's what I thought. The one on the left is neutral tint. Oops. need much. Oh, hold on. Needs a little more than that. I'm going to have to do one more layer with a little bit more neutral tint. But that is a good color for this medium. Red here. All right, so I'm going to take that same color and I'm going to add even more neutral tint to get one more level darkness here. Now, instead of just going in with clean water, I'm going to go in with the lighter red in order to blend this a little bit. It may not be enough. So I'm just lifting a little bit of the dark there. There we go. And I don't want quite as straight an edge. So I'm going to go back in and wet here. So it fuzzes just a little bit. Oh, yay, Dell. Good. Dell laptops are good. Dell desktops, not so much. Hey, Mark. And I didn't end up with... All right. So next up is I'm going to re-wet this area with a clean, damp brush because this doesn't need a whole lot of extra color. It just needs a little definition. So I'm going to re-wet this lovely turquoise area here. And I'm just going to go back in and add a little bit of turquoise right here. Just to define that color a little bit. And in here, this definitely needs more turquoise. And I need to mix more gray because this actually has gray in the marble, not just as gray glass. All right, so I need to mix a little gray here. One moment, I need to also, the well for my gray ended up with some red splatters in it, so I have my mix of ultramarine and burnt umber, ultramarine and burnt sienna here, so I'm using the burnt one. So, oops, sorry about that. Bumped my arm for my camera. Apologize for that. All right, give it a little more. This actually has some areas that has some beautiful mid-tone gray in it here. And I went right over part of that turquoise part to give me my shape that I need. And then there's a little gray underneath as well. And it fades into the turquoise. That's why I'm doing it while the turquoise is still wet. Make sure you have a clean part of your towel there. I want these to blend a little bit, so while it's wet, I'm going to go in with my clean brush. And I took a little too much of the bottom gray out. So I'll go back in again. And then down under here, the gray is lighter in color, so it does need more gray, but I'm going to... Oh, I wonder if that'll lift. I went too far up with that red, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be exactly the same shape as the color on the original. Here, my marbles, so I can make them slightly different if I want to. And I seem to have to since I messed it up a little. How did I get that? I must have still had gray in my brush. There we go. That's more red. Oh! It's not too bad because I haven't done my background yet. But oh, watch what you're doing with your brush. Thank goodness I haven't finished the background yet. Oh, welcome back, Wendy. Oh, cool, Eileen. I'll have to have a look at that. All right, and then over here, oh no. Excuse me. All right, so now I need to get very light mix of gray. So I'm trying to get this marble finished. so that I can take off the masking fluid, and then I'll know if I have to go through and take off my other masking fluid and replace it so that it doesn't tear up my paper, because it tends to get more and more permanent if it stays there too long. And I've never had it here longer than 2 weeks, so okay. All right, so where else do I need to do a little lifting? So I need to do a little lifting right here. So I've got my 8-inch flat brush, and it's not a natural hair brush, so it's not stiff like a hog hair, but it's a little stiffer than my silver black velvet. It's still a nice watercolor brush, but it should do my lifting here nicely for me. It's important to know which colors, and I didn't do that on my, I have to do a better swatch. This is just for inside my, this is just my map, so I know where which colors are, but I have to do a better swatch, and I have an idea for swatch cards similar to what Janet does, sort of, that I can do these lifting tests to make sure I know, because some colors aren't going to lift nice like this gray is. To do this in, well, you'll see in this red, I left most of it in the red. The red lifts up not too badly. But, for example, ultramarine blue is much trickier to try and lift. But it's hard to paint around these highlights, and they're not really right back to white. They're just kind of sparkles. Thank you. Well, depending on what you want to do. If you were doing a painting like this, Eileen, markers would not be better. Then, of course, I don't like pan watercolors either. I like tubes put into pans. All right. So now I'm going to take off my, just on this one, just to see if they, yeah, they come off. All right, those are coming off fine. Oh, I shouldn't have taken that one off, because now I'm going to have to paint around it. But anyway. Yeah, all right, they're not taking off the paper. Those are fine. but I didn't get them all really well done. So I have to go back in the end and add some white gouache to get, and you're not going to get the whole glass effect either until you get the reflection, because that kind of helps. Well, they actually, they would work. They would work not too badly for the marbles, Eileen. If you had the like real color or like real liquid watercolor, yeah, as long as they're nice and transparent, they would work okay for the marble part. I'd never do a background with markers though. Well, yeah, Kathy, if I was doing these with like brush pens, I would definitely be starting my darkest areas. I don't use water brushes. I use water brushes if I'm like maybe on a card or something like that, but not on a, I don't like the nylon brushes. I've got a problem down here. It's not bright enough. So yellow is fairly opaque. So I'm going to go in with my yellow here at the bottom. And brighten that up a little bit. And then I'm also going to go in with my white watercolor. And that should brighten that up enough. Okay. We'll see when that dries. All right, guys, I think I am done for tonight. I'm going to have to work on this off camera or something or whatever, because it's going to take forever. So I know Debbie's not coming on until 8 Eastern. So you still have 2 hours before Debbie. So I don't know if anyone else wants to come on, but 2 hours is enough for me right now, because now my right knee's locked and I have to put it down. And put my left leg up. This is what I have to do all day long. It's also exercise, because every time I lift my heavy lymphedema legs, it is exercise. Oh, maybe I can try one more marble. Oh, I don't know. Oh, thanks, Eileen. They will get there eventually. It's really hard, but it's hard for me to do them on camera because I have to get up so close, and then all you see is my head, so it's not really much point. So I may work on them a half hour here, half hour there offline. But if I do any work on them, I will tweet progress, work in progress shots so you guys can see them. Oh, Dot, I called just before 11:30, thinking I would catch her before her lunch break, the receptionist. And I didn't. She was gone for lunch already, and she's only there in the morning because it was clinic day. So I will call tomorrow morning. It's on my schedule to call whenever I get up tomorrow. So, everyone, see you all later. Thanks, Helen. Thanks, Kathy. Thanks, Lena. Oh, come on. End. There we go.